And I'm not copying Bracelet Maker 5. I had the idea before I saw she had made a video. She didn't copy me either, so don't say that about either one of us. And I'll probably title mine something different because of the fact that she put one on there. So I'm just going to show you guys some things and some stitches that you'll need to know when crocheting. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with the yarn. The yarn can be all shapes and sizes. Probably one of my favorite brands is Red Heart Super Saver. I love this yarn. No, not brand, I love this yarn, but I got this one at Hobby Lobby for $3. And it makes so many things. At Walmart they're only like $2.37, but it's just a cheap yarn. And if you get this yarn, you will want a 5.5mm or an eye size crochet hook. And it says that down here. This color is called white, obviously, and it's got the other languages. And this is a category 4 medium weight yarn. And then it has the hook sizes here. Again, it's just the 5.5mm. So that is our first yarn ball, and that's probably one of my favorites just for everyday yarn thing. My second favorite would probably have to go to Lion Brand. These yarns are awesome. This is the homespun. It's just really textured and it makes really, really nice scarves. As you can see, this color is called Fiesta. It's a category 5 bulky, and it would recommend a 6.5mm crochet hook or a case size. So you'll want to get that hook if you get this yarn. And this one is 170 grams or 6 ounces. The Red Heart one was, let me look, it was, where does it say it? This might take me a second to find it, but this one is a 7-ounce ball. These is only a 6-ounce ball, so that gives you an idea of how these are a little bit smaller than the Red Heart balls. But I love this yarn. It's a great yarn. So this is another brand to consider if you're making scarves. As you can see, her scarf that she has on, it's very pretty. And this, I mean, you can just, there's the things and stuff. It's just got all the information on the yarn, on the band that's around the yarn. So that's my second favorite. My third favorite, here's another Lion Brand one. This one is the, I'm not sure if it says what this one's called, but it's a really thick, this one's called Grand Rapids Green, and it is, I am in the USA, so as you can see, they're all made in the USA. I think they all are, yeah. And this one is a category 6 super bulky. It recommends a 9mm hook, which is very, very big. And so this one is only 5 ounces, so it's even smaller. And probably my third favorite would be the smaller and softer yarns. This is an example of one I got at Big Lots. It is Gloria Canaan Hand Knitting. Canaan, I'm not sure if that's a different language or what, but I got it at Big Lots for $1, and this is a 50-gram ball. So I mean, it's a good sized ball. You can probably use 2 to make a scarf, and that's a $2 scarf. I mean, that's not that much. This one recommends a 3.5mm. It doesn't have the number on what kind it is. What this means is you don't want to iron it. Most these you don't want to iron. But yeah, I like the small ones too. Another one of these is the Karen Simply Soft. Here is the yarn band. That's what I want to call it. That went around it. Care and Simply Soft. And this one recommends let's look here, right here. This one is also a category 4, recommends a 5mm. But up here it says 4.5. I guess that's not a crochet hook. I'm not sure what that is then. But that's just, it's a very thin yarn. Like, here's the comparison between that one and that super bulky. I mean, there is a difference between those two. So that is basically the yarn part of things. So, in Red Heart, they make softer yarns because this is pretty rough yarn. And you can also get color changing yarns. I love this ball of yarn. It's called Earth and Sky. It's probably my favorite one. But again, that one this pattern here is what it's saying, uses a 6.5. So if you're going to do the pattern on the ball, then that's what you'll need. But the yarn itself recommends a 5.5mm. Again, like I said, it's called Earth and Sky. Like on most Red Heart yarns, you don't want to iron it. And you'll also want to look at the dye lot if you're wanting to match up your yarns. So you'll want to match up the dye lots. The solid color Red Hearts, it'll say no dye lot. But on these, it says it somewhere. But anyway, that's basically the yarns. And now we are going to start with the hooks. For the hooks, you'll probably want to invest in a bag, or you can make one. You can crochet your own crochet hook bag. But this is some of my hooks. If you do polymer clay, then something you can do is you could make handles and attach them to your hook. So as you can see, I made this one here. Just a fun looking handle, and it just gives you an extra grip. I really like this hook. And this one, it'll tell you what kind it is, usually right here. It is a K 6.5mm. I'm going to get right back with you once the camera wants to focus. And like I said, this is a K 6.5mm. hook. And the biggest hook that I have here is this one. It's 11.5mm, and that's really big. I'll show you the smallest one I have here in a second. This is probably it. Yes, this is my smallest one. It is a 2.5mm, and if you compare these two hooks, you can see the difference between those two. I have a smaller hook somewhere, but just not in this little bag. So that is my 2.5mm, and I have just about all the sizes in between. But like I said, you want to invest in a bag with these, and you want to check with your yarn so you know what hook you're using. But most of the time, the pattern will specify what hook you should be using. So, 2 other items that you will be needing along the way. You don't have to get these items immediately, but it'd be a good idea to have them, and they're very inexpensive. So crochet is not a very expensive craft. It costs money, but it's like worth it. Like, it would be sad to buy that much money for friendship bracelets, but you know, you're making scarves and hats and things with crochet. Some other things that you'll be needing, if I can find them here, will be, you will also want to invest in a yarn needle. This is a yarn needle. It has a very big eye, so you can fit your yarn through there, and this is for joining ends and sewing in tails. And it also has a blunt tip, so it's not too sharp. So that's another thing you'll be needing. The next thing you'll be needing is a stitch marker. This is when you start crocheting in the round. And you can start using yarn for this once you get beginner, but pretty soon you'll want some professional stitch markers. And these work very well for marking your stitches so you know where you're putting things. So, yeah.